When I look back in the Old Testament, it was initially a theocracy. It was humans directly to God, and then the Israelites wanted a king. Why would that be? Is it the same thing?
Well, I mean, if you go back to that incident in the Bible, they were looking around at the surrounding nations, and they had a king who would kind of lead them into battle, so to speak. And I think it's partly due to because we as humans, it's human nature to want to put your trust in something you can see with your eyeballs. You can actually see that.
But they had a cloud. They had fire.
Yeah, that's true, Sheldon. But I don't know. There's this idea that familiarity breeds contempt was a popular saying when I was growing up. You get so familiar with something, you start taking it for granted. And this happens a lot within marriages. They're all in love with each other, and then they get married and they see each other every day, and they don't appreciate each other as much anymore. And then they just seem to treat each other eventually as just decorations or furniture.
They start destroying you in cribbage.
Yeah, yeah. Although we did have a good time. So I would say that's part of the reason why humanity at that stage wanted a king, is that they just wanted someone that would lead them into battle. And so if you read that passage and you read their history up to that point, that would be the period of the judges in the Bible. And it was a mess. And it wasn't a mess because the theocracy doesn't work. It was a mess because people just
don't
drift
work
away from God. They don't.
I find that, and I find Judges, one of the things I remember in Bible school is that in Judges you have this, you got somebody coming in, they clean things up, and then without fail, they did what was right in their own eyes.
That's a key phrase.
That phrase is used over and over again. And that should be on the dollar bill. Like, not in God we trust in the U.S., but they did what was right in their own eyes. Yeah. That is the culture we have today.
Mm-hmm. We have a tendency to think, it's called a chronological fallacy, is that we're actually improving as humanity, but no. Human nature actually hasn't changed. Technology has, for sure, but human nature, no. You go back and read these accounts from 4,000 years ago. Well, you can just relate to these people. They're just like us. But there's this idea that we have a tendency, that's human nature, to want to call the shots. We want to be our own boss, and we do not want to be under the authority of God or anybody else, in which case we do what is right in our own eyes. And that is just rampant in our culture today. Our culture today is not just doing what is right in their own eyes. They proclaim it as a basic human right, that nobody has the right to impose their morality on me. And in fact, it goes so far as to say it's even wrong if you question my own views and morality. That's offensive, so to speak. You have to go along with my morality or my views, or at least acknowledge that that is your truth, and I would never want to do or say anything that will that will challenge that.